It was that moment at the family dinner when everything shattered, the kind of quiet explosion that starts with a single venomous whisper. My stepbrother, Derek, leaned back in his chair, eyes narrowing like he owned the room, and hissed, "You'll regret this." I didn't flinch. Instead, I met his gaze with a calm that had been forged in years of swallowed rage and said, "Check your email." The air went thick, heavy with the weight of unspoken betrayals. And as his phone buzzed on the table, I watched the color drain from his face. That look? It was the first real payback for a decade of being the invisible one. The one they stepped over while propping him up. My name is Sarah Ellis. And at 37, I've carved out a life in the shadows of Chicago's financial district as a senior forensic accountant at Vanguard Financial. It's the kind of job where you dig through numbers like they're buried secrets, spotting fraud before it can bleed a company dry. My office overlooks the Chicago River, all steel and glass. And my days are filled with audits that demand precision, every decimal a potential landmine. To the world, I'm successful. A sleek apartment in Lincoln Park, a portfolio that's rock solid, and colleagues who call me the hawk for my eye for discrepancies. But to my family, I'm the cold fish, the one who chose ledgers over laughter, the middle child who faded into the background while they built shrines to Derek. The rift started when Dad remarried, 10 years after Mom's car accident stole her from us. I was 20. Packing for grad school at Northwestern, when Patricia stormed in like a whirlwind, perfect manicure, designer bags, and her son Derek, 24 and full of that slick charisma that could charm a snake. Derek was the golden boy, always landing on his feet despite tripping over every opportunity. Patricia turned everything into a Derek parade. His job losses were strategic pivots, his wrecked cars, unlucky breaks, his endless startups, the next big thing. My acceptance into a top accounting program? A quick, good for you, honey, before she dove into Derek's latest scheme. Dad, who once stayed up nights helping me crunch math problems for school projects, morphed into a ghost of himself, always nodding along to Patricia, always defending Derek like he was the family's last hope. Blood ties meant squat next to Patricia's favoritism. She even hyphenated our last name in holiday cards. Ellis Hawkins. As if to remind us we were patched together, not whole. The real gut punch hit 7 years ago. Derek needed seed money for his second failed app idea, and Dad drained the education trust Mom had set up for my little sister, Mia. It was supposed to put her through college debt-free. A final gift from the woman who'd worked 2 jobs to build it. When I called them out, Patricia snapped that I was envious and obstructive, and Dad just stared at his coffee, mumbling about family unity. Mia ended up buried in loans, and Derek's venture tanked in 3 months flat. After that, I drew my lines, polite appearances at holidays, generic birthday texts. Nothing more. I built my fortress, my career, my savings, my solitude. But they kept reeling me back, like hooks in old wounds. A call from Dad about a health scare that turned out to be indigestion. Patricia's saccharine voicemails about blood being thicker than water. This time, it was Derek texting, huge announcement. Dinner Sunday, 7 p.m. Be there. I should have ignored it. But that nagging pull, the one that whispers maybe this time it'll be different, dragged me in. Deep down, I knew Derek's huge always meant he wanted something, and my gut twisted knowing it might be from me. The house in the suburbs smelled of Patricia's overcooked lasagna when I showed up at 7:20, fashionably late to dodge the chit-chat. Through the bay window, I saw them assembled like a stage play, Dad at the head, Patricia fussing with napkins, Derek gesturing wildly. Sarah. We were getting worried. Patricia cooed in that artificial sweetness as I shrugged off my coat. Derek rose with a grin too wide. arms open like we were old pals. Not forced kin. "There's my star sister," he boomed, his gut straining against a new button-down, another sign he was splashing cash he didn't have. "Your only sister," I corrected, sliding into the seat farthest from him. "Mia's in Seattle. Remember?" He waved it off. "But you're the one killing it in the corporate world, the real deal." Alarm bells rang. Derek only buttered me up when he needed a favor tied to my expertise. Dinner dragged on in familiar agony, Patricia prattling about her bridge club, Dad grunting approvals, Derek monologuing about his connections. I poked at my food, mentally timing my exit. Then, over Patricia's store-bought pie, Derek cleared his throat like a bad actor. "Family. I've got news that's gonna blow you away." His eyes gleamed with that feverish hype I'd learned to dread. "I'm launching Nexus Connect, an app revolutionizing remote teams. And get this, I've got Victor Reyes from Peak Capital sniffing around for funding. Mid-six figures." Patricia gasped dramatically. "Oh, Derek. That's incredible." Dad perked up. "Sounds promising, son." But then Derek leaned in, his real pitch dropping like a stone. "Victor's all in on my vision. But he wants a solid team, someone with financial savvy. Audit know-how. The stuff that makes backers sleep easy." His stare locked on me. "No," I said flat out, fork clinking down. He chuckled, edged with nerves. "You haven't heard the equity offer yet, co-founder status. Your name front and center." "No, Derek." Patricia jumped in, voice laced with disapproval. "He's giving you a golden ticket, Sarah. The least you can do is hear him out." I heard. "And no, I won't risk my rep on another of your flops, like that fitness tracker scam or the crypto mess." Silence crashed in. Dad studied his plate. Patricia's lips thinned. Derek's charm evaporated. "What's your deal, Sarah? Think you're too good for us with your fancy audits and spotless record." "Not too good. Just not stupid. Selfish." "You mean," he shot back, "I'm handing you a piece of the pie, and you spit on it because you hate seeing family win. You're not family, you're a leech on this house." His face twisted scarlet. "You'll regret this when Nexus blows up and you're still crunching numbers in your ivory tower." He stood, chair screeching. The threat hung there, raw and ugly. Driving back to my apartment that night, his words echoed like a bad omen, making me glance in the rearview more than once. I should have listened to that chill. A week later, buried in a fraud audit at work, my phone pinged, a chase alert for suspicious activity. Someone had applied for a business line of credit in my name. My heart slammed. In my world, identity is currency. And this reeked of sabotage. I pulled my reports, 5 inquiries in days. Loan apps listing me as CFO of Nexus Connect LLC. Emails in spam, forwards from bogus addresses, touting my expertise lifted from Vanguard site. The killer? An email from Derek to Victor Reyes, as promised. Team bios attached. Sarah Ellis, co-founder, brings forensic accounting chops from finance. She's vetted our docs and joins next call. My forged signature stared back, close enough to fool at a glance. Nausea hit hard. This wasn't flattery, it was felony fraud. My phone rang. "Patricia." "Sarah. Sweetie. Have you been?" "Thinking of you after dinner." Her tone probed. "Derek mentioned you might help with some financials, audit stuff?" Testing if I'd caught on. "I'm not helping." Patricia. Pause. "Oh. Maybe a mix-up. These forms can be tricky, perhaps you signed off without noticing." She knew. All in. No mix-up. Goodbye. I hung up. Called my bank. Confirmed. $100,000 loan app pending with my SSN. Mixed real and fake data. File a police report, they said. I opened a fresh spreadsheet, my ritual. Timeline everything. Build the fortress. As hold music droned, rage simmered into resolve. This was war. And they'd armed me with their sloppiness. A text from a burner, sis. Victor's pumped about you. Quick meet this week. Derek. Fabricating complicity. Screenshot. Filed. By midnight, I'd compiled emails, docs, logs. He wasn't just borrowing my name, he'd framed me as the fall guy. The expert who'd greenlit his scam. If it crashed, I'd take the hit, career torched. Licenses yanked. Maybe cuffs. But he forgot, I hunt fraud for a living. Evidence is my weapon. The next weeks blurred into obsession. Evenings with wine and laptops. Tracing his trail like a ghost in the machine. He was careless, more apps. An LLC with my address. Even a lease reference. Timestamps pegged him at odd hours. VPN spotty. Metadata screaming his home IP. The jackpot? A small bank inquiry revealed a Nexus account with a $10,000 deposit from Patricia's Consulting LLC, proof of conspiracy. When she called again. Feigning worry, Derek says you're overwhelmed with the new duties. What duties? The Nexus financials, you agreed to structure them. I said no. You heard. She slipped, but the paperwork. Bait taken. Call recorded. Added to the pile. The hunt sharpened me, turning hurt into steel. This wasn't kin, they were predators who'd marked me. I consulted a lawyer pal, hypothetically, researched statutes, identity theft to felony over $10,000. Premium databases exposed Derek's past shells. His fake email for me? Created post-dinner. IPs tying back to him. One night, staring at the growing dossier. Betrayal crystallized. Years of silence had been my cage. No more. The confrontation brewed at another urgent dinner. Dad's voice cracking on the invite. I went. Curiosity overriding caution. They waited in the den. Derek pacing. Patricia stiff. Dad wilted. Sit, Derek barked. I stood. What's up? Cut the crap, you're torpedoing Nexus. Victor spooked. Banks demanding extras. I hadn't tipped anyone. His mess was self-destructing. No idea. He lunged verbally. You're sabotaging me. Like you turned Mia against us. Drove her west. Mia left because you gutted her trust fund. Borrowed for opportunity. Patricia, if you'd clarify the mix-up. Mix-up? Forged signatures. Stolen credit. Chaos erupted. Derek ranting jealousy. Patricia sobbing rejection. Dad pleading unity. I stayed ice calm as Derek unraveled. Whiskey fueled. You're a drone. Sarah, no life. No risks. No family. I trusted family once, before you drained Mom's legacy. That silenced them. Prove your crap, he snarled. Okay, you'll drag us all down? Every doc has your name. Who'll believe the grudge holder over the visionary? Threat noted. He promised ruin if I didn't retract. I left with home. Emails to send. His yells chased me. You'll regret this. That night, coffee fueled. I assembled warheads. Packet 1 to the bank's fraud team, 60 pages on the fake account. Patricia's transfer highlighted. 2 to Illinois AG, 150 pages. Timeline of felonies. 3 to Victor Reyes, sworn denial. Forgeries exposed. But first, to Derek. CC'd all, as requested. Action on Nexus fraud. Attached, complaints to bank. AG. Peak. I regret silence on past thefts. Enabling you. Not protecting myself. Identity theft. Felony over $10,000. Your threats documented. No further contact. Send. No hover certainty. Fallout hit quick. Victor's apology. Tux killed. AG case number. Voicemails flooded. Derek's denial to rage. Fix this. Patricia's hysteria. Dad's happy now. I documented. Sipped wine on my balcony. Peace settling like fog over the river. Consequences cascaded. Accounts frozen. AG interview where my binder wowed Detective Ruiz. Victim turned prosecutor. Derek's pleas devolved denial. Fury. Bargains. Despair. His bluff lawsuit? Forwarded. Laughed off. Probe widened. Prior complaints linked. His empire crumbled. Profiles deleted. Sight down. Mia called. Tearful thanks, you broke the cycle. Charges filed. Theft. Fraud. Conspiracy. Patricia's LLC scrutinized. Dad ceased after my cease and desist. Jason's wait. Derek's last call destroyed me. You stole mine. Business. Not personal. Always personal. Click. Freedom. 6 months on. Patricia's timid Thanksgiving invite. Dad's plea. Against odds. I went, recorder ready. House dimmed. Jason pics gone. Apologies flowed, wrong to enable. Plea deal, no jail. I listened. Unmoved. What now? I'll think. Dad's parting, Mom knew you were strong. Tired of victimhood. A text from Derek, you won. Family protects. Not destroys. My reply, screenshot of his threat. Check your email. Block. Wine in hand. City lights below. Emma's photo buzzed, her free smile. No regrets, I toasted my reflection. When threats come from blood, sometimes the sharpest blade is evidence. Wielded without mercy.